Hi, everyone, and welcome to FranTastic InSights. This is actually one of my favorite things to do because I love sharing information with you from some of the most innovative entrepreneurs and brands like the one that we have with us today. My name is Joan Winchester, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Franchise Expansion for FranServe. And for those of you who haven't heard, FranServe is the world's largest franchise consulting organization. Our mission, quite simply, is to help change people's lives through franchise ownership. And we do that by working with an incredible group of franchisors, franchise consultants who help their candidates explore great opportunities like the one we have with us today. So I got to tell you, I'm super excited to have an incredible entrepreneur with us today, Hao Lam. And Hao is the CEO of Best in Class Education. His story, I have to warn you, it's mesmerizing in how he overcame obstacles, unlike anything, quite honestly, that I've ever experienced, and I'm sure many of you never experienced as well. So welcome to FranTastic InSights, Hal.
Joan, first of all, thank you so much. It is such an honor to be here. First of all, I love the name of your podcast. How could it be better? Fantastic. Secondly, I love the mission of FranServe, right? Change people's life. And then similar to FranServe, we change people's life through education, through entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so I have to tell everyone, I just got back from vacation where I read Hal's book. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah, honestly, it was hard to put down. It was very captivating, great story. I love things that inspire, as well as your overcoming obstacles, your stories there, as well as, it's easy to see how you got your love for education. And just wondering if you can share with our audience a little bit about your background and how Best in Class came about. It's a great story.
Very good, thank you. Do we have 3 hours? No, I'm kidding. We
No,
only
I
have a
know, right?
few. Yeah, yeah. We only have a few minutes. Just a little bit of background. Um, audience probably know, right? People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it. I want to share a little bit about my why. Why am I passionate about education, and why am I here? And after 30 years, when I was 7, my father disappeared. It was almost half a decade ago. It is in April of 1975. Thought he was dead. A year later, he showed up. He was captured. He was in the military, fought alongside with the U.S. troop. So he was shot at, and then bullet went through his leg. He fell down, and then he was captured. Didn't hear from him. So when he saw me, I was only 8 years old, John. He said, "Son, you need to leave the country. This is not the place for you to grow up." I had no idea what he was talking about. I was only 8 years old. Long story short, for the next 11 years, I didn't go to school. I'm Chinese, born in Vietnam. I read a little bit of Chinese, but I couldn't write. I couldn't read and write Vietnamese because I did not go to school from between the age of 8 and 19. So all I did day in and day out, month in and month out, is to escape from Vietnam. My father, it's illegal, not like today. You can get a visa, you can get a stamp, you can go to U.S. Embassy, and you flew out for vacation and you go back. Back in the old day, it's pretty close. Not communication, not allowed to send mail and all the stuff, but not even allowed to leave the country. So it was arranged by people, have a fishbowl, pretend to go out and fishing and all that. So I did that for 11 years. Many failed attempts, including I was shot at multiple times, I was captured, I was tortured, I was in jail. A lot of things happened. But long story short, Joe, I made it to the Philippine refugee camp when I was 19 years old. I lived in Palawan for 1 year, although I didn't speak any Tagalog because I was in a refugee camp. And I learned English, fascinating language. Learning the grammar, the adjective, the tense, right? I eat today, I ate yesterday, I will eat tomorrow. It's fascinating, but it's my first written language, Joe. And I had a dream. I want to be in the Western world and be a student. People laugh at me when I talk about it. Well, you want to be a student, especially I talk in school. Kids like, you want to be a student? We're a student. I didn't get a chance to go to school. I made it to Canada after 1 year in the refugee camp, and I attend high school. I graduate at the age of 23. I thought education was fun. It was not too hard. I went on to college. I graduated in UBC when I was 27. That's in 1995, UBC in Vancouver, Canada. And Joe, I was a refugee. My family were refugee. Nobody in my family had a college degree. I wish someone had told me that just do an engineering degree or an MBA or computer science and all that. I didn't speak English. I studied math. After I graduated in 1995, I moved down to Seattle, married with my wife, Lisa. She moved from New York. We are also a refugee, as you read in the book. We met on a love boat. And then I couldn't get a job. I was trying to build airplane for Boeing, but they asked me if I have a PhD. I didn't know what that meant, and they hang up on me. Of course, I wasn't having an opportunity to build airplanes, so I put up a sign and to the map. I was the only map teacher at the center. This is 29 year and 10 months ago. In 2 more months out, we will celebrate our 30th anniversary. That's how I started. Fast forward 15 years later, we franchised the business, and now we're in 9 states with close to 40 locations. Again, people don't buy what you do, they buy what you did. My wife's education changed my life. I was a refugee. I'm living the American dream. To a lot of the FranServe client, I mean, if I can do it, you can do it, right? Entrepreneur, it is the land of opportunity, right? Like,
I love your story.
thank you.
Absolutely. So Hal, tell us a little bit about what makes best in class so unique and the key differentiators. I mean, there's other education franchises out there, right? But what makes
Awesome.
you so special?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. I really appreciate it. For best in class, there are, first of all, there are three revenue streams. Many of our competitor only do one or two. So first of all is recurring income. It's a membership pay. Is student between the age of maybe 4 to middle schooler, right? Kindergarten to 8th grade. Math and or English. This is a membership base. People pay approximately $150 a month to do math and or English is once a week, right? Recurring, right? Like Joan, in any business, you want to have the recurring revenue, right? Like the Prime member at Amazon. So that's really good. That's our bread and butter. That is the majority of the revenue are coming from. Secondly, for high schoolers, some kid needs help with chemistry, physics, math, and all that. So we're able to help them with the schoolwork. This is the second source of incomes, probably 1 to 2. The price point is slightly higher. And then lastly, most importantly, Joan, I'm not sure if you remember the SAT and ACT prep, right? Now it's called the DSAT. It's a digital SAT. So we help a lot of students get into good college, right? It is a one-time program. It takes 4 to 8 weeks. We help students, reach their full potential, help them with the test prep, help them with strategy so that you can get into the college of their dream. So there are three revenue streams. And also because we are a newer company, we're a smaller company, we have the technology, right? With franchisees, operational efficiency, the kid can go home and do the work online if they choose to. And then with the help of an AI chatbot, they help them with some of the problem. We talk about AI all the time, right? We are not fearful, but we use the technology. We embrace the technology and to use the technology to help with the operational efficiency as well as students who need help with the homework at home. They basically don't have a teacher 24/7.
Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thanks for sharing those three revenue streams. It's certainly is a key differentiator. So, tell me a little bit about the qualities, right, that you look for in a franchise owner, and who's the
Yeah.
ideal candidate for best in class?
Excellent question. Although we only operated after 2 hours, some of the franchise open on weekend. The opening hours between like 12 to 20 hours a week. But we require our franchisee, the ideal franchisee are the one who is gonna devote this is going to be the main thing, right? It is going to be hard for them to treat this as a passive investment or a semi-absentee owner. We want someone to fully invest in the business in order to be successful. So they require to work 25, 30 hours in the business, and that they will be, before we open the location, they spend time doing some administration work, doing customer acquisition, teacher acquisition, connecting with the community, and all the stuff to help drive the business. Like any business, customer acquisition is the key, right? Same thing with FranServe, best in class, and all that. So we want to have ample time to bring business in the door, and we have marketing team to help out.
Great, that's important.
Yeah.
So tell us, our audience, a little bit about the training and the support.
Awesome. I love that. So after they sign the agreement, we'll help them. We'll hold their hand all the way to the grand opening. We'll help them with the letter of intent. We'll help them negotiate the lease with the landlord. We'll help them with the drawing, the color of the wall, and the carpet and everything. And then they will fly to Seattle, Washington, 3 to 5 days to do the onboarding training, how to hire, how to train the teacher, and the operation, marketing, and all that. And we will also be there for the grand opening to help with, the marketing, the day off and everything, right? The recruitment, the registration. After that, we'll work on a weekly basis with 2 teams. 1, the marketing team, 2, the ops team, until they reach their first milestone, which is the break-even point, right? We all want to sleep better. I don't want anybody to be in red. We want to get them to break even as quickly as possible. We want the marketing to be as aggressive as possible before they hit their first milestone. And then after they hit their milestone, then what's the next one, right? And we always have a goal for them, and then the op team will send them to me, and I'll work with them on, how to scale the business, whether going to, 200-300 students, or maybe a possibility of opening a second or third locations. And I'll work with them on the business aspect, the scalability of the business. Because at one point I used to own 10 locations. I've done 1 to 10. So I've been there, done that. And I wish there was someone like Hao to teach me how to do it back then. But I'm willing to share all my secret sauce so that they can be very successful as quickly as possible.
Great answer. So so talk to me a little bit about the timeline to open.
So depend, right? So normally, let's say we sign a lease today. If we don't need any tenant improvement, we're gonna get the place up and running within a month or 2. It's a very, very simple build out. We have 3 models. One is the open classroom, and then one is we have 4 small classrooms. One is in between with 2 classrooms. We try to minimize tenant improvement for 2 reasons. Number 1, we'll save the franchisee a lot of money, and number 2 is the timing, right? So without any major build out, we can get it up and running in 30, 45, 60 days. But with some build out, it depends on the city. Some require maybe 4, 8 weeks. Some require slightly lower, slightly higher. So it is I say between 2 to 6 months and get it up and running with the permit, with the occupation, with the signage and all that stuff. Furniture is really quick. It's a very easy, simple build out. You need table, chair, a few tablets, and then some shelves, some binder, and a signage, and we are ready for business.
Great. Sounds very easy to open.
Very easy.
So yeah. So tell us a little bit about the ideal markets, and where are you looking to grow?
Yeah. So there are some. We are currently in nice state, but I think there are a lot of market in Georgia, in Texas, in Florida, and in California. So when we give out a territory, by the way, we are one of the brands that provide franchisee with a protected territory. So we'll do the market analysis, make sure we have enough students. They will be given a zone that is like 18,000 students between the age of 4 and 18. We look at the income, make sure the income in that area is able to support, and the ethnicity, what's the population, what is it a diverse community and all that. So we look at everything, and then we work with the franchisee. Do you like this? If you think, oh, I don't think it's workable, are you willing to move a mouse out? And then we'll do that market analysis again. We look at the number of school, elementary school, middle school, high school. Um, um, there are many things that we will look at to pick an ideal spot for the franchise. Of course, preferably they don't have to drive like 45 minutes to work every day within the area that they live, so that they know a lot of people there. So it will make the grand opening a lot easier.
Great. Thank you, Hao. I love your enthusiasm. I got to tell you, it's absolutely contagious. I mean, I know there's other brands in your space out there, but I'm not sure there's anyone more excited than you are.
Thank you.
We love working with you, and at FranServe, we love franchising, right? I mean, what could, in fact, we actually trademarked our tagline,
What is
franchising is
it?
our superpower. I
Wow,
mean,
I saw that. Great.
what can be more rewarding than helping people through changing their lives through franchise ownership? I mean, many people think
Exactly.
about it, right? But not many do it on their own, but franchising allows it to become a reality. So, can you tell our audience one last thing about the lifestyle of a best in class franchisee and what that looks like?
Yeah. So, like any business, it will take a little bit time to ramp up the business. Like I said earlier, we want to reach break-even point as quickly as possible, and then everything else, is profitable. And then because we are entrepreneur, this is the land of opportunity. Once you have a successful and profitable business, there are so many possibilities. We have franchisee who open 2, 3 locations. We have franchisee who hire an administration person to be there to do all the recruitment and all that. He or she just come in and out, take as many vacation as they want, right? And because the business is profitable, they are very happy. They are putting a lot back into the community. They are making a big impact. So it's not just the money that's rewarding, it is the giving back to the community. It is the possibility, right? It is a lot of resources that we can put back in the community and help out. A lot of people came to me when they're very successful. It's like, oh, how can I do more things so that I can minimize my tax in a good way, right? So we work on different stuff. And I said, hey, it's a good problem to have. You're paying a lot of tax, but let's look at some of the revenue. Do we expand? Do we upgrade the center? There are a lot of things. So much potential when a franchisee is profitable. The lifestyle, it completely changed. And also I want to add a lot of the time, a very typical scenario, Joan, is one person in the family is a breadwinner, used to be, namely, for example, the husband. The wife is very, very highly educated because they have 2 kids, they have young kids. She had to be home and take care of them. Now they're in school, she have a lot of time, but she doesn't want to go back to 9 to 5. She want to do something on her own. She want to put back in the community. And then the husband is very supportive, give her the financial means to do this. And then several years later, she even make more money than him,
Mhm.
right? So this is,
Yeah.
I see this a lot because if you do get a job, right, you know how much you're getting. But in business, sky is the limit. You can make a lot of money in one location. You can have 2 or 3 locations, or even businesses if your friends of consultant are helping them with various of opportunities.
Mm, absolutely. Well, Hal, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today, your success with us today. Any last thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. Best in class is not for everyone, but for someone who's very passionate about entrepreneurship, very passionate about giving back. And then we are here. We're not going to keep any secret. We don't have any secret. We will share everything that we learn, all the mistake that I made in the last 30 years, and I hope they don't make the same, right? We help them with marketing, with operation, we have scaling and all this stuff. We are here because the franchisee are very successful. Same thing with FranServe. FranServe is here. FranServe is the largest broker network in the world because your consultants are awesome and they are very, very successful. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Hao. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.